Class 11th, Subject Physics, 11th chapter, Electric Current through Conductors. From this chapter, let us see first Introduction. The valence electrons in an atom become delocalized when a large number of atoms come together. So when the atoms are combined together, at that time the valence electrons become delocalized in that metal. These are the conduction electrons or free electrons which constitute an electric current when a potential difference is applied across that conductor. Now let us see electric current. In order to explain the concept of electric current, let us consider an imaginary gas of both positively and negatively charged particles flowing randomly in various directions across a plane P. So the positively and negatively charged particles will now cross this plane P. Then let Q plus be the amount of positive charge crossing the plane P. Q minus be the amount of negative charge crossing that plane P. And therefore the net charge flowing in forward direction, that is here that forward direction is from left to right, in that direction the net charge flowing will be given as net charge Q will be equal to Q plus minus Q minus. So difference between these amount of positive charge and negative charge crossing that plane P will give us the net charge flowing, and therefore for steady flow of charges the quantity Q is proportional to the time interval T, and therefore this Q is proportional to T, or from this Q will be equal to I into T, where I is the proportionality constant, or it will be written as I is equal to Q by T, where I will represent the current, that is the ratio of charge and time will be nothing but the current, that is rate of flow of charge per unit time will be called as current. Now the SI unit of current I will be obtained from this formula, that is SI unit of charge upon SI unit of time. SI unit of charge is Coulomb, SI unit of time is second, and therefore Coulomb per second, which is called as ampere, denoted by capital A. So ampere will represent the SI unit of the electric current. Now if the current I is varying with time, if that current is not steady and it is varying with time, then for time varying current we can consider the limit of time, and therefore current I will be given as limit delta t tends to 0 delta q upon delta t. So this expression will give us the current which is varying with time, and for steady current I will be equal to Q by T. Now as the SI unit of current is ampere, some other units for the measurement of current are also there, and these units of current are milliampere. Milliampere, that is milliampere and ampere will be related as milliampere equal to, so 1 milliampere equal to 10 raised to minus 3 ampere. Microampere second unit, that is 1 microampere equal to 10 raised to minus 6 ampere, and nanoampere, that is 1 nanoampere equal to 10 raised to minus 9 ampere. So these are milliampere, microampere and nanoampere. These are the smaller units which we use in our day-to-day life for the measurement of small currents. And now let us see the flow of current. The flow of current through a conductor. The flow of current through a conductor. So we know that the current can be generated by positively and negatively charged particles. In an electrolyte, that is in case of chemical reactions or chemicals, that is in case of electrolyte, both positively and negatively charged particles take part in the conduction. That is in case of electrolytes, the conduction takes place due to positively and negatively charged particles. But in case of a metal, the free electrons are responsible for the conduction of electric current. And these electrons flow and generate a net current under the action of an applied electric field. So when an electric field is applied, at that time the current will be generated in that metal. A steady electric field will give rise to steady electric current, and steady electric fields are supplied by the cells and batteries. The cells and batteries supply steady electric fields. And now let us see what is drift speed. What is that drift speed of the electrons? So consider, for that purpose, let us consider a copper rod. So this is the copper rod consisting of negatively charged electrons, and therefore let us consider a copper rod with no current flowing through it. So now here for that copper rod, no electric field is applied and therefore no current flows through it, and free electrons are in random motion. So though the external electric field is not applied between the ends of that copper rod, still the electrons will be in random motion, and therefore no current flows through it, but the electrons are in random motion, and there is no net motion of these electrons in any direction. There will be no net motion of these electrons in any direction because their motion will get cancelled with each other. If electric field is applied along the length of that copper rod and a current is set up in the rod, then these electrons still move randomly, but they tend to drift. That is, they will move slowly in any direction, in any given or particular fixed direction. So here drift means there will be slow motion of these electrons, and therefore their direction is opposite to that of applied electric field. So the drift velocity will be oppositely directed to that of electric field. The electrons under the action of applied electric field will drift with a drift speed Vd. So Vd will represent drift speed of these electrons. And now we have to obtain the relation between electric current and the drift speed. How electric current I and drift speed Vd are related with each other. For that purpose, again let us consider a section of the conductor. So this will represent this section of the conductor with free electrons having the drift speed Vd and applied electric field E. So in this case, E will be the applied electric field to this section of the conductor having its length equal to L. Then Vd will represent the drift speed and I is the current. So electric field and electric current are directed in the same direction, but the drift speed is oppositely directed to that of electric field. And therefore, now let us consider some of the terms. Let L be the length of the conductor. Similarly, if you consider this area of cross section of this conductor, it will be taken as capital A. So capital A will represent area of cross section of that conductor, and L is the length of the conductor. Then let N small n represents the number of free electrons per unit volume of the conductor. Now this conductor will be in cylindrical shape, and then small n will represent the number of free electrons per unit volume of that conductor, and therefore the total number of electrons in length L of that conductor, the total number of electrons will be n into volume of that section of the conductor having its length equal to L. As it is cylindrical in shape, therefore its volume will be area of cross section into its length, that is AL, and therefore the number of electrons in length L will be equal to NaL, that is number of electrons per unit volume into volume of that section, and therefore the total charge in length L will be equal to, now this NaL represents total number of electrons. If you multiply this by the charge on one electron, that is E, then we will get total charge in length L, that will be equal to NaL into E. So this NaL represents total number of electrons. It is multiplied by charge on single electron, therefore we will get total charge in that length L. Now we can say that time interval t for which this charge moves through any section of that conductor, the time interval t for which this charge, that is NaLe, that total charge moves through any cross section of that conductor, then that time interval t will be given as t is equal to L upon Vd. That is, time is equal to distance upon speed, and therefore t is equal to L by Vd will represent that time interval for which that total charge is moving. And therefore we know that current I is equal to Q by T, and therefore we can put here values NaLe, that is total charge Q, divided by time T, that is L by Vd. Vd will be shifted to numerator, then LL will get cancelled, and we will get current I is equal to NaVDE, and therefore from this drift speed Vd equal to I upon NaE, that will be written as J upon Ne, where this J is nothing but I by A, where J is equal to I by A, which is called as current density, that is current per unit area, and therefore its SI unit will be ampere per meter square. Current density equal to I by A. And now from this we can at last say that from this equation, as Vd is equal to J upon Ne, therefore we can write J is equal to I by A. Here we have seen that J is equal to I by A. Therefore from this relation we can write J equal to Ne into Vd. J equal to Ne into Vd. So this will be the expression for current density, and this relation will give us the relation between the drift speed and the current.